Take a look at David Pauly getting a spot start. He's done in his starts over his career.
Those 5 starts coming while a member of the Boston Red Sox as Derek Jeter steps in. And greeted by the Yankee fans here. We got a lot of Yankee fans here tonight. David Pauly's sinker on the outside corner. As Ron Kulpa is calling balls and strikes. I don't think that David Pauly, when he went to bed last night, thought I'll be pitching against the New York Yankees tomorrow night.
Maybe that's a good thing, Dave.
And that is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Not a hard thrower, sinker, slider type of pitcher. 1-6 with Tacoma this year. And a slider right at the knees. Wakamatsu is hoping to get 5 innings out of Pauly tonight. He's on about a 70 to 85 pitch count, according to the M skipper. And that ball running right up and in on him. Pretty good pitch. A lot of movement on his pitches. 86 degrees is the official first pitch temperature. A calm night here in Seattle with a cloud cover moving in. 2-2 the count. And a little one-hopper. It jammed him right in on the hands, and Figgins will throw him out.
Let's take a look at our Home Depot doing more on defense. I'm David Pauly tonight. In the outfield will be Saunders, Gutierrez, and Ichiro. Across the infield, Lopez, Jack Wilson back in the lineup at shortstop. Sean Figgins and Casey Cotton on the right side of the infield, and Rob Johnson will do the catching tonight.
Nick Swisher steps up to the plate, and he celebrated his being named to the All-Star game yesterday in a big way last night. 2 doubles, 2 singles, a walk. He was on all 5 times, and that sinker over the outside corner, 0-1 the count. One-on-one. Pauly was one of those guys that, if you ever get a chance to go in the Mariners locker room, I know you probably won't, down in Arizona, they put a bunch of the guys that maybe might make the ball club, but probably won't, on the right-hand wall with a bunch of lockers. And as they go, those lockers are empty. And his was the last locker that was full on Survivor's Row over there on the right. And he almost made the ball club. And a breaking ball. A ball with 2 strikes.
Yeah, he takes a lot off of that breaking ball, just 76 miles an hour. Take a look at Swisher last night, 4 for 4, as David mentioned, with a couple of doubles.
It did not come back. 2-2.
See the 76 miles an hour? That was the breaking ball that he had thrown.
And that breaking ball again just misses inside. Ball 3. And a fly ball foul way down the left field line. David Pauly makes his home right down the road from the Mariners complex in Peoria in Glendale, Arizona. Born in Colorado. Went to Longmont High School in Colorado. 3-2 pitch popped up. And an easy play out there for Michael. Saunders puts it away. 2 down. Mark Teixeira, the hitter. It's outside, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. I know that the Mariners are hoping that eventually Justin Smoke will turn in to Mark Teixeira. Big, strong switch hitter with a lot of power. He's got the shot.
Well, he's 23 years old, and you hope that the power was going to develop with him. He certainly has the body type of Mark Teixeira. As you mentioned, the switch hitter. I think being a switch hitter certainly will help him hit for a better average at the big league level this year. I know he's struggled so far, hitting .209, but again, probably rushed a little bit to the big leagues. Those are the words of Jack Zarenzik, and he's probably right about that. I like what I was able to see out of him so far this year, so I think he's going to hit for some more power, too. He had 8 home runs this year.
3-1 to Teixeira. High fly ball to right field, and Ichiro's going to watch this baby fly away into the lower deck. Number 16 for Mark Teixeira. And it's 1-0 New York.
Well, let's take a look at this last pitch. The location. Rob set up on the outside corner. Pitch up and in the middle of the plate.
No doubt about it. Well back into that lower deck out there. And here's A-Rod taking a strike on 1. Ooh, look out. Just got out of the way.
And that was a breaking ball. 82 miles an hour. Slipped out of his hand. Not much on it. Take another look at this pitch.
And that's right over the heart of the plate. 1-2. Yankees have won 6 in a row. Started this trip in Oakland where they swept the Oakland Athletics. And lined into right field for a base hit. So Alex, who won the game last night with a ground ball into right field to drive in 2. Starts tonight with a line drive to right field.
Just kind of punches it that way. It looks like he's fooled on the pitch, but serves it into right field.
Second baseman Robinson Cano now the hitter. And the breaking ball for a strike. I have an idea that there was a deal very nearly done with the Yankees that fell through at the last moment. And the Yankees, I think, are not too upset with the fact that the deal was made with the Texas Rangers. I think the Yankees just wanted to be sure there was no deal for Cliff with the Boston Red Sox.
That's always something that they think about. You hear about it and you read about it every year around this time.
And this is just the first salvo fired because there's a long time until the trading deadline. There's still about 23 days until the 31st of July. And a ground ball to first, and Casey Coxman takes it to the bag. Solo home run by Mark Teixeira here in the first. A-Rod's left at first base. We are underway. Yankees won, and the Mariners coming up.
Thank you, Tom. And for the Mariners, that leading things off, it'll be Ichiro. Figgins, Braniel will hit third. He's the designated hitter. Lopez, Gutierrez, Kochman, Saunders, Rob Johnson, and Jack Wilson will play shortstop and hit ninth. Take a look at the numbers for Hugh. 10 wins for him. ERA to 3.83, 94 innings pitched, 86 strikeouts. He has given up 11 home runs. And the defense behind him. In the outfield will be Gardner, Granderson, and Curtis. Across the infield, Alex over at third, Jeter and Cano up the middle, Teixeira at first, and Jorge Posada will catch.
Well, Phil Hughes was matched up against Cliff Lee in New York on the 29th of June, a Tuesday night, and the Mariners waxed him pretty well. They beat him 7-4 as Ichiro fouls the pitch back through 94 pitches, gave up 10 hits. But what a year he's had. He's 10-2.
He's actually struggled in his last couple of outings, including that game in New York against the Mariners. We'll have to wait and see if he's able to get things on track. The outing in New York, he was wild. He didn't have command of his fastball. He was behind a lot of hitters, and the Mariners took advantage of that.
Well, he's come out of the bullpen to become a pretty good starter.
Yes, he has.
Too high, but fouled away. 0-2. Eight Yankees will be heading to Anaheim for the All-Star game. And a swing and a miss. So Ichiro's down on strikes.
Ichiro gets a breaking ball down out of the strike zone, chases it. See him swing and miss very often. Just misses getting a piece of that pitch.
Cliff Lee is scheduled to get the start tomorrow night for Texas at home against Baltimore. And just to rub salt into the wounds, the opposing pitcher will be Chris Tillman, the kid the Mariners sent to Baltimore in the Eric Bedard deal. A strike on the outside corner, and it'll be a particular bitter pill for Mariner fans to swallow when Cliff Lee is introduced Tuesday in a Ranger uniform at the All-Star game.
You know, with everything that was going on today, I didn't even think of that. That will be strange, won't it?
Yeah. And that's looped down the left field line, and it's going to be a fair ball.
Nice running catch by Gardner out in left field. Gardner can actually play some center field. He, fleet of foot, is able to run this down even though the ball is slicing away from him.
He can play left field. We saw him throughout Ichiro last night trying to go from first to third. And a breaking ball for a strike. On one to count. And a swing and a miss. I know one thing. There are a lot of big heart thumps out there in that young man's chest right now from Issaquah High School, coming back to play before his parents, his friends. Colin Curtis getting the start in a Yankee uniform. What a thrill that must be here at Safeco Field. And the fastball is high and inside 1-2. Can you imagine?
I've been there. I had my first start over in the Kingdom in a Yankee uniform, and my mom and dad and friends there. It was exciting. Good luck to the young man.
Absolutely. A little outside. Branyan puts one into the gap. Hits it hard. Headed out to the wall. It will make it to the wall. Russell Branyan will make it to second base with a 2-out double.
Let's take a look at the swing by Russell Branyan. Pitch down in the zone, hits it hard, almost in the middle of the plate.
And there's Colin. Wanted to try and cut it off, but he couldn't do it. Too high to Lopez. And another high fastball, but he went after it anyway.
It's Hughes' best fastball so far, 95 miles an hour. See, 96 miles an hour on his fastball.
And a little looper into right field, but it's going to hold up. As Curtis is going to get the chance to make the catch for the final out. So the Mariners can't answer the Yankees run. They go down, no runs, and after 1-0 New York. It's always a pleasure to be joined when he finds time in his schedule. Dan Wilson, former Mariner catcher, welcome. Good to see you, big guy.
Thank you, David. Good to be here. Michael, it's good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Been quite a day.
Yeah, it's been a monumental day in Mariner history again, and fun day to be at the ballpark.
Let's go back to 1998. Randy Johnson is traded to Houston. 3 guys. Nobody knew anything about those 3 guys.
No, you just don't know, and Mariner fans will remember the names now: Freddie Garcia and Carlos Guillen and John Halama, and guys that, like you said, were completely unknown at the time. Nobody'd ever heard of them, but guys that came on and contributed greatly to a lot of those pennants that you see out in right field, and played some key roles in those years, and so you just don't know.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jorge Posada. And Randy Johnson, when he went down to Houston, completely turned that franchise around, helped them win the pennant. He had the stature of a Cliff Lee in the Mariner organization. He was not having a good year with the Mariners, but when he went to Houston, he completely turned it around.
Yeah, he did. I think getting out of the American League, getting into a National League that hadn't seen Randy in a while. He came over from Montreal originally, but they hadn't seen him in a while, and that worked to his advantage as well.
Posada, they're about a routine fly ball to center field, so one down, and Curtis Granderson will be the hitter.
So Lee is gone, and now we get a spot start from David Pauley, who's been recently called up. I know that starters a lot of times leave, I'm sure, preparing himself to pitch in this game tonight, so he had his 4 days to think about what he was going to do, probably talk to the catchers about what the game plan was going to be. And he shows up at the ballpark today, and they hand him the baseball. How difficult is that? And especially on the catching side of it, Rob Johnson behind the plate, trying to get him through 5 innings, hopefully.
Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge, and David's obviously going to lean a lot on Rob tonight, and hasn't seen these Yankee hitters, and the first start this year for David out on the mound. So it is a night that you go out on the mound with a lot of question marks in your head, and you don't have the game plan totally sewn up. But that's where Rob's going to come in very handy. And Rob does such a great job and has seen the Yankees quite a bit this year. He knows what he can do.
Granderson a pop up to shallow right field, and Ichiro will have no problem with that. 2 away. And here he is. Let's see what kind of a round of applause he gets. I don't know how many people here realize this young man is from Issaquah High School. This is Colin Curtis. I know his folks, his friends are here. And here he is making his debut in Seattle. Not his Yankee debut, but his home debut here. What a thrill. Kid went to ASU. Strike at the knees. A little bit inside. 2-1. Your pitcher, I think you'd like to pitch something like this. Warm, humid, you can get loose in a hurry, and a change of swing and a miss, and a good one. And right to Figgy. So a nice second inning, a 1-2-3 inning for David Pauley. As we go to the bottom half of the second, Franklin Gutierrez, Casey Kochman, and Michael Saunders. 1-0 New York.
good to see him out.
Absolutely. Franklin Gutierrez will step in and lead it off here against Phil Hughes. And he'll take outside. He's a little bit of a slump right now. He's over his last 17. Jump off the cliff. I don't think that Seattle's going through the trauma that Cleveland is, to tell you the truth. Do you?
No, that's quite a media shakedown in Cleveland. I think it's unfortunate, but you're right. I think Mariner fans are sad to see Cliff Lee go.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest regret really is we only had a chance to watch him play for half a season, but what an impact he made in that half a season, really. And I think that's a testament to the kind of pitcher he is.
Absolutely. I think he's going to make an impact anywhere he goes. He's about as blue as a blue chip can be. 2-1 on Franklin Gutierrez. Change. Jorge Posada behind the plate. You think of the great Yankee catchers, the Dickies, the Thurman Munsons, the Elson Howards, the Yogi Berras. He fits right in there with all of them.
He does, and Jorge's longevity really is pretty impressive. And I remember playing against him, and night game, day game, didn't matter. Jorge was behind the plate, and although he's probably getting more breaks now as he gets a little bit older, but just a stalwart behind the plate, just does such a great job, and knows this league inside and out. And to have Joe Girardi over there as well, as a catcher to fall back on with, as a manager, that's got to help him as well.
3-2 pitch, fouled away.
If I'm not mistaken, Joe broke him in. Joe was catching at the time when Jorge was kind of finding his way, wasn't he?
Yeah, they were there together for a little while, definitely. And as you look at their pitching staff, not really a staff that's probably going to need a lot of help. They got some guys in that starting rotation that can do all right by themselves, but to have faith in a guy like Jorge behind the plate makes the pitching a lot nicer too.
High fastball, and it's hit to center field. So Curtis Granderson runs that down rather easily, one away. And you got to wonder what's going through this man's head right here after the events of the day. Because the Mariners got Justin Smoak to play first base. And this guy hasn't played that much. He's had a chance to play in the last week or so, and he's caught fire. And now Justin Smoak's going to play first base.
If you think about it, he's actually had to go through this twice, right? When they first had Branyan.
Right.
Milton Bradley was DHing, and Branyan was playing first base.
And there he goes down the right field line into the corner with a foul ball, however.
And then he ended up sitting, and when Milton came up with the issue with his knee, they put Branyan as a DH. Now, as you mentioned, Dave, he's getting a chance to play, and he's making the most of it, but he's going to have to deal with it again.
That man's still hurt. That's Milton Bradley. Got a bad knee. Oh! 0-2. Over the mound. Behind the bag at second. What a play. Rather routine play for Derek Jeter. An off-balance throw to first base. No contest. So 2 away. When the Mariners and the Yankees square off tomorrow now, all you fans are asked to bring new or gently used baseball and softball gear to the Baseball Tomorrow Fund Equipment Drive. Here at Safeco Field, all the donations are going to benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs at King County. For tickets to the Mariners-Yankees game, you can visit any Mariners team store or mariners.com. Michael Saunders looks at one at the knees. 1-1. You like this kid, Dan?
Yeah, I like his swing. He's a good-looking young player, and like that he can run a little bit, and he's got some pop in that bat as well. You know, if it helps, he's my 12-year-old's favorite player on the Mariners.
Is that right?
So he comes highly touted in our house. But I did have a chance to watch Michael play in Tacoma a little bit, and I like his approach to the game and his mental approach, and he's got the physical tools, no doubt, and just needs a chance to play and display what he can do.
Your 12-year-old left-handed batter?
No.
2-2. And a big yacker that time, actually a slider. And down on strikes is Michael Saunders. That was right down around the knees. And here in the second, 3 up, 3 down. After 2, 1-0. New York. All right, Tom, as Brett Gardner steps in to lead it off here in the 3rd inning. Take the pitch from Mr. Paulie. High, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Phillies trying to jump back in that race in the National League East. That has been the dominant club in that division all year long with Bobby Cox. Not really from the beginning because they stumbled, but they caught fire in Bobby Cox's last year. And I'm sure that's a little bit of a motivating factor for the Braves contingent too. A strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Braves knocked off ex-Mariner knuckleballer R.A. Dickey tonight. How many knuckleballers did you catch?
You know, I didn't really get a chance to catch any true knuckleballers. You know, at the end of his career in Cincinnati, when I was coming up, Jeff Reardon was at the end of his career going back out, and he was messing around with a knuckleball trying to hold on for another year or so, and he had a decent one, and I'm glad I never had a chance to catch a knuckleballer, because that is nothing but challenging. I'll tell you, it's nothing that you can predict about a knuckleball, and so it makes it difficult to catch.
Gardner, a routine fly ball to Michael Saunders. 1 down. Okay, time for our AT&T trivia question. Who has Cliff Lee won the most regular season games with since the start of last season, regular season games. Now, remember, he went 4-0 in the postseason last year with the Phillies. Those don't count. Regular season games. Was it the Indians, from whom he was traded to the Phillies, or with the Phillies, or with the Mariners this year? And he was an 8-game winner with the Mariners. A breaking ball down low and outside.
Do you know the answer, Dave?
I don't know, but I have an idea. It's the Mariners. Plus, he was traded about midseason.
Dan?
I'm going to go with the Indians.
And a ground ball right in on the fist. Derek Jeter. Oh, he's done a heck of a job.
Well, then clearly it was the Phillies.
You know, when you figure that he won 8 games and he missed the first month of the season, you kind of wonder what had he been healthy.
Gosh.
You know.
Yeah, good point.
Nick Swisher popped the left field in the first.
Nick Swisher, a guy I'm sure after last night's ball game, a guy that they're looking at very closely tonight as far as a game plan is concerned. I'm sure Rob and David Pauly really talking about Nick. He's really seems to be seeing the ball well, and 4 just line drives last night really seemed to have a good approach to plate. So he's a guy you want to keep off the bases, especially with these guys coming up behind him.
Yeah, Teixeira already with a home run in the game tonight.
6 in a row retired by David Pauly. A change a little high and outside. And look at that change. Nice job, David Pauly. As he has now retired 7 in a row, we go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 New York. Mariners will be playing the Yankees in the final game of this 4-game series. All you future stars, 14 and under, invited to go right down on the field, take a lap around the bases, courtesy of Key Bank. For tickets, you can visit Mariners.com or any Mariners team store location. With Mike Blowers, Dan Wilson, Dave Niehaus with you here in the bottom half of the third inning on a warm, humid evening in Seattle. As Rob Johnson, the Mariner catcher, leads it off. And a nice fastball at the knees. just outside. Although our tracer shows that it may have been on the corner. Andy Pettit, what a job he turned in last night, but so did Jason Vargas. Boy, Vargas was fabulous.
Really good stuff. Well, last night, sure, it had to be tempting for Don to leave him out there. But Pettit was. Did you watch the game last night, Dan? Did you happen to see it? He doesn't throw as many. He still throws his cutter, but not nearly as much. He used to be just a cutter guy for the most part and a slider at your back foot. He was throwing in some nice four-seam fastballs, especially to the left-handers, moving it around a little bit more. He's amazing to me. I think he's retired like 5 times now, hasn't he?
I think you're right. And every time he comes back, he's a little bit better than when he left.
Standing next to Javier Vasquez. He will pitch tomorrow night.
Against Felix Hernandez.
You know, oftentimes it's when you're standing at the railing and a guy comes up to the plate and 2 pitchers start talking, and that's where you learn a lot of your scouting report about guys. And you know, I'm sure Vasquez is just bending Andy's ear there. And you know, what did you see with this guy? What did you see with that guy? And when you're nice and casual like that, you can learn a lot if you just, as they say, close your mouth and open your ears.
You can also find out where the best steak joint in town is.
Occasionally that sneaks in too. I think that's one of the things that the Mariners will miss about a guy like Cliff Lee, a guy that understands pitching so well and can be such a mentor to the younger pitchers. And
little soft pop-up to Cano. Let's give you the fan results of our AT&T trivia question. Who has Cliff Lee won the most regular season games with since the start of last year? You said the Mariners by 2 percentage points, and the answer is the Mariners. 8. He won 7 for the Indians, 7 for the Phillies. Actually, he won 11 for the Phillies, counting the postseason, but not regular season. Jack Wilson takes a strike, 0-1.
That's why Dave's in the hall, Mike.
That's right.
Although we tied.
Tied for second.
Tied for second.
1-1 to go.
I think the other thing, too, about Cliff that I've noticed with some of the guys, and maybe more than anybody, Ryan Roland Smith, I think the way Cliff goes about his business, it has to rub off on the guys, too. You know, you watch somebody do their work and have success, and he just seemed like he was putting on a clinic every time he went out there. I think that you have to pick up something from just watching.
Yeah, it's just such an important part of the game, especially as a young player.
And that slider right out over the plate, and it's punched into center field.
I know in my time with the Mariners, just being able to be in the same clubhouse and watch a guy like Edgar Martinez and just how he approached hitting and some of the drills he did. A guy that wasn't very vocal, but was a leader just by what he did, and showed you how to hit every single night when you went out there, and that's what made him so impressive to me.
One on, one out, and 1-0 New York. Too low, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Yankees a chance to pick up more ground on Tampa Bay, who was beaten tonight by Cleveland in Florida. 2-0 the count. losing Ichiro, well on his way to his 10th consecutive season of 200 or more hits. An all-star every year. Former MVP of the league. And that's gone in the right field. Picked that one right off the ground, and holding at second base is Jack Wilson.
We'll take a look at the location of this last pitch. Down, this is a fastball. Ichiro, similar pitch was a breaking ball down around the same area, and Ichiro swung over the top of it. Is that pitch hard into right field?
So an 11-game hitting streak now for Ichiro. Biggie lined out to Gardner in the first inning. And a breaking ball for a strike. And a ground ball snared at first base by Teixeira. And he will go to second base to get the force on Ichiro. Mark Teixeira, the Gold Glove at first base last year, and he shows why. That was an outstanding pick.
Take a look at it. Dickens hits the ball hard. Ends up getting a nice off the field. Makes an accurate throw out the shortstop with big and speed. No chance to turn a double play on it.
And here's Russell Brandon. I already know Mike's answer to this, Dan. I got to ask you, do you like the All-Star game being played for home field advantage in the World Series?
You know, I really don't. I like it. You know, the All-Star game is really a showcase. I love watching the game and seeing the big stars in the game. And I like that managers try to get everybody into the game, but I don't like the extra weight put on it for the postseason.
I do. I just think because of that, the extra weight, you know, it makes it mean more than just an exhibition. And I understand your point, too. It is an exhibition game. Russell takes inside.
What year did you go to the All-Star game?
96.
96. Did you get into the game? I can't remember.
I made the last out of the 96 All-Star game. Popped up to right field against Al Leiter.
Congratulations.
That's going to be a trivia question somewhere. And Dave's going to get it.
I am now.
That's right.
Where was that game?
Philadelphia. Veterans Stadium.
The old vet.
Did you enjoy all of it?
It was great. You know, what an experience. I mean, you know, you can't. Just for me, walking in the clubhouse and seeing some of those names on the lockers was just pretty tremendous and just a great experience all
There's
around.
a lot going on, right? They keep you guys pretty busy.
It's very busy, you know, and we had, you know, the greatest thrill for me was we had 5 players in the All-Star game that year from the Mariners, and we had a Sunday night game in Texas, and we flew out first thing in the morning, and we took up pretty much all of first class with our family and everything. It was just it was nice to be able to spend it with a lot of teammates and your families, and it was just we had a great time.
Was that the last time the National League won?
They beat us pretty handily. I think it was like 8-0 or something like that.
May have been the last time the National League won.
I remember Piazza hit one in the second deck in left field. It was the whole thing was just a great spectacle.
Bill Hughes taking a lot of time. Runner goes, and the pitch is down low. No throw to second base, so an easy steal. Number 24. Sean Figgins. Now base hit. Chance to get you 2. And a slider. Down he goes. Struck him out. And here in the third, Mariners get 2 aboard, but they leave 2 out there. And as we go to the 4th inning, a play score still. Yankees 1 and the Mariners nothing.
Along with Mike Flowers and Dan Wilson, good to have you here as we look at Mark Teixeira. He's the guy responsible for the only run tonight, a home run on first inning. And David Pauly has settled in, done admirably, a lot better than anybody could have expected through the 3.
Absolutely, it's a tough lineup to face, especially when you get to the ballpark and you think you're heading out to the bullpen, and they actually give you the ball and say, don't go out so fast. You're going out. You're stopping at the mound, and you're going to start for us.
How about that day, Mike? I mean,
yeah, we were talking about it earlier, Dave, and it had to be tough for him, I think, initially.
Coxman fields this one, and Pauly covers.
I'm not sure if anybody had said anything to him. Obviously, with the trade of Cliff, you don't want to talk about it or don't want to know that that's going to happen, so you can't really give him a heads up into it. Sometimes maybe that's a good thing, too. But he's done a nice job of sailing us the second time and hopefully a third time through the line. That'll be the trick.
There's your key. A-Rod will stand in, got a base hit to right field on a 1-2 pitch in his first at bat. Game-winning 2-run single last evening. And both times, the last 2 games we've seen A-Rod, he's hurt the Mariners in the 8th inning. A 2-run homer back in New York on getaway day, and yesterday 2-run single, both off of David Archman. Bounces this one to Jack Wilson. 2 outs. So David Pauly, 9 in a row he's retired. Good for him. Luke French called up. He's available tonight. Talking to Don Wakamatsu before the game. Before French got here, we're talking about Pauly, Cordero, White, and League. Everybody else is pretty much burnt out. Olsen needs some time off. Ardsman needs some time down. Here's Robinson Cano, grounded out to first base. This young man having a sparkling season, 4th in the American League in hitting. To right field, Ichiro backs up a little bit. Paulie has a leisurely 4th inning against the Yankees. He's retired 10 in a row. The Yankees lead it 1-0. Here's Jose Lopez to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th against Phil Hughes. So the breaking ball, ball 1. Jose flied out to right in his first at bat. Lopez, Gutierrez, and Kotzman 4, 5, and 6 for the Mariners. Granderson must be 10, almost 15 yards in the left center field for Lopez, leaving a huge gap between Granderson and the right fielder Colin Curtis. Oh boy, that almost knocked the mask completely off of Jorge Posada. How many of those a game do you figure you used to get?
I'll tell you, it seemed like you could go a week, 10 days without it, and then you get like 3 in one game. You kind of make up for it, and it does ring your bell, boy. I tell you, it can knock you for a loop for a couple seconds there.
2-1. Popped up out of play,
which really explains a lot, Dave.
Yeah, no, understood. And and I like the fact that the umpires give you the standing 8 count.
That's right, and we do the same for them.
Sure.
You use the same type of mask that Posada used. A lot of guys were going to the hockey mask for a while. Did you even try that?
I tried it in spring training once, and I didn't like it. I played some hockey, so I was kind of hoping maybe I'd like it.
Right.
But I just felt too confined and too hot in that, and I just liked being able. I feel like I could see a lot better with the more traditional mask.
Cano makes the catch on Lopez, 1 out. Is your vision, it's that much more reduced, huh, with the hockey mask?
It is a little bit, and I think the way equipment has changed over the years. The old masks, when I first came up, were pretty heavy. The steel was very thick and real heavy. Now with whatever composite materials they're using, it's just as strong, but it's about 1/10 of the weight that it used to be. So I just really liked using the traditional mask that was much lighter than the old ones.
Felt like you had to do neck exercises, like bridges, like you're playing, like you're wrestling, right?
That's right, yeah. And it actually would be your neck that would get pretty messed up from those foul tips, because that's what takes the weight, the bear of the blow.
Goody pops one out to Shera. just missed. 0-2. Goody trying to break an 0 for 16. The boys at Camberwell have to scatter. Teixeira owner of 3 Gold Gloves. Mets Ike Davis has made about 4 catches like that going into the Camberwell, and 3 of them were game winners. Franklin flied out to center field in his first at bat. The only run in this ball game, Mark Teixeira's 16th home run, came in the first inning on a 3-1 pitch. Drove it about 10 rows deep in the lower bleachers in right field. Great crowd on hand, expecting upwards of 40,000. It goes through your mind. You know you're 0 for 16. You know you struck out 4 times. I mean, you're just hunting and pecking now, right?
I'll tell you what, it looks like there's 100 guys out there in Yankee uniforms in the field too, because you just feel like you can't buy a hit.
Mariners got to Hughes last week in New York, and boy, did they get to him in a big way. Career high 10 hits, season high 7 runs and 6 earned, 5 2/3, 2 walks, 2 walks, 1 intentional walk, 3 Ks, and he gave up a home run.
He has much better command of his fastball tonight than he had at Yankee Stadium. There are the numbers. A lot of hits, behind in a lot of counts. He only walked 2 batters, but he was behind a lot of guys and really struggled with his fastball tonight. He's much better. 64 pitches for him, 45 strikes, just 19 balls.
1-2 again. Gutierrez, and Goody goes down swinging. 2 outs here in the 4th. 4th strikeout for Hughes against no walks. Seattle summer continues to heat up as the Boston Red Sox come to town for a big 4-game series beginning Thursday, July 22nd. Get your tickets today. Safeco Field's going to be the place to be July 22 to the 25th. For your tickets, visit Mariners.com or any Mariners team store. There's Casey Kochman grounded out to short. Bouncing ball to Teixeira. Easy play, easy inning for Hughes. No threat at all. 4 in the books. It's a 1-0 Yankee lead. Your phone batteries were charged, and you did a lot of work and put a lot into making this thing happen with Cliff Lee today. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's it's a little bittersweet. Obviously, you love what Cliff brings to the table. Obviously, his performance has been sensational. There's a point in time, I think, when you have to be realistic about things, and what we want to do is build this thing for years to come. And from our opinion, it was going to be very difficult to try to get anything done on a short term, or for the long term. So at least, we'll see what happens at the end of the year when, should he go into free agency. But, to bring in some players that we think are going to be pieces of this organization as we move forward, I think was very important to us.
Justin Smoke, he was the guy you had to have?
Yeah, he was. What we did is we pinpointed about 4 or 5 guys that we thought throughout the organizations in baseball would be players that, we would love to have, and he was one of them. And when that opportunity presented itself, we stepped forward, they stepped forward, and we consummated the deal.
Here are the numbers for Justin Smoke. Good-looking athlete, 6'5", switch hitter. Tell me the things you like about this young man.
There's a lot to like about him. The one issue is you look at his numbers, and you might look at the batting average and be a little disappointed. But he's a 23-year-old kid. You got to realize 2 years ago he was playing in college, and is he rushed to the big leagues? You can make that argument that he is, but it's just this great-looking kid. He's rangy, big, great defensive first baseman, has power, switch hitter. 6'4", 225. Again, you look at his history in college, you look at his history on the USA team last summer. He was phenomenal representing the United States in the World Games. And he did well in the minor leagues. It's just a matter of adjusting to the big league levels, and we're looking forward to seeing him do that.
Having the opportunity to see a small sample of him play against Seattle, I really liked his swing a lot as Posada hits his ground ball to second. Nice play by Figgins. And you look at his power numbers. When I came in and I heard about the trade and I came to the ballpark, you take a look at him swinging right here. Really nice swing. Power is probably something he's going to grow into, don't you think, along with his average and the other things. I mean, he's hit for an average at the lower level, so you can expect him to do the same at the big league level. But power is something, as he learns the league and the pitchers and those things, that'll come.
Yeah, he has power, too. I mean, all through his college career and even, throughout when you watch him at different spurts in the minor league, you would see it. But, it's like anything, you're first. He's new on the job. At this level, this is the big leagues. And I think when he gets stronger and he understands pitching a little better and he knows what pitches he can drive, he's going to do those things effectively.
Talk a little bit about the timing of it. I mean, everybody's been talking about Cliff leaving for 2 weeks now, and some people speculate you're going to go right to the last minute. Speak about the timing of it.
Well, our plan was whenever we had an opportunity to acquire players that we liked, that we were going to do the deal. I mean, that was it. And there's a lot of risk if you wait. Let's say Cliff would have been pitching tonight, something would have happened.
Right.
You go into next week, something happens. You never know. And I think it was clear that Cliff was going to test free agency from our standpoint. So to get back a package that we were real comfortable with, and some clubs, which I think makes a lot of sense, wanted a player now as opposed to the July 31st. So they're going to get 4 more starts or whatever with the player. So it makes sense for them to invest something into a player and have him for a longer period of time.
One of the things that everybody talking about Cliff going and all that and maybe kind of under the radar, and I don't think it should be that way, is Mark Love.
Yeah.
When this kid is healthy, I think he's one of the best. How tough was it to let Mark go and make this thing work?
Very tough. We love Mark, and it was a tough conversation with Mark today. And they had pursued him. The fact that they took a player that's coming off of back surgery, and he's had a few other little nicks along the way. Mark's done a wonderful job. You have to tip your hat when he was here. I wish we had him now. Had he been healthy pitching for us right now, it might have made a difference for us, and things might have been a little bit different. But again, you have to make decisions, and in this particular case, we made a decision, and we're moving on.
I'm excited about the 2 pitchers.
Yeah.
I had never heard of them, and then I come in here and I look at their numbers. You look at their strikeouts to their walks. It's pretty exciting.
They are. It is. I mean, the Blake Blevin kid was the 17th pick in the country a few years ago. He's 21 years old, pitching in AA. In fact, they were going to move him to AAA his next start. And strike thrower, big 6'6" or 6'7" guy. Lutke's got a great arm. A bullpen piece, but a very, very good arm. And Matt Lawson, is one of these scrapper, gamer, all-out type of players. So we'll see what happens.
Can play a number of positions.
Yeah, second, third, short. More second, third. But still, I mean, it's scrapper and a good, nice little player.
Want to go back to Smoke for a second. As Figgins charges, he makes all 3 assists, and that's 13 in a row. Retired by David Pauly. Holds open for another half here. Jack Zarenzi, general manager of the Mariners here. We go to the home fifth, 1-0 Yankees. Right now, as Michael Saunders leads it off 7-8-9 here against Phil Hughes. Got a logjam at first base now. You've got Smoke. You love him. He's the guy. He was the guy you were pursuing. You got Brandon here. You got Kochman here. You still got Sweeney here. Personnel moves. What kind of things do you anticipate trying to do here in the next couple of weeks?
We'll figure it out. You know, I mean, it's you know, a little bit of a situation where we have to figure out what's going on. You know, I'll talk to Don. I didn't get a chance to talk to him much today. A little bit we did. We'll talk tonight after the ball game. We'll spend some time tomorrow. But, you know, we do have the DH, so, I mean, you do have that. We have 2 players in that role, got a first base and DH, so, you know, that's it.
What about another guy that has been burning it up in AAA? You brought him up from AA to AAA, Michael Pineda. Yeah, I know you want to be careful with him. You got an inning ceiling on him, but you got to really feel good about his progress thus far.
We do, and you know, he's a very special talent. We're talking about a 6'5", 245-pound power pitcher. He's been up to 99. Interesting stat. They said about a week ago when he threw in Sacramento. You think about this: 68 pitches into the 7th inning with a perfect game. We'll welcome that.
Yeah,
so he's efficient. He's a strike thrower. He's a power pitcher.
He hits all your checkpoints, desirability in the major leagues. Let me go back to Smoke for a second. He's a guy I got a kick out of here, and you said this earlier during the news conference that you followed this kid since high school.
Yeah, well, you know, as a scouting director, which I did that, had a chance to watch him in South Carolina, knew all about him, watched him for 3 years, you know, in school with the University of South Carolina. You know, watched him in the summer times, played with the USA team. So I mean, there was a great history with this guy. Real class kid. You're gonna like this guy's personality. Great makeup guy. Low keyed, hunter fisher and a fisherman in the wintertime. You know, and loves to do those things. Just a down to earth kid.
He'll love it up here. Did you have a chance to talk to the young man? What kind of reaction did he have up with the trade?
You know, I was surprised in the conversation when he was expecting my call after he was told by John Daniels that he's coming here. And asked him how he felt. He said, "I'm very excited." And I thought that was nice when you consider that sometimes young kids get traded, and he's on a first-place team right now. But I explained to him, hey, we're going to build this thing. Our goal is to win a World Series. It's going to take a little bit of time to put this thing together. You're going to be an anchor. You're going to be part of this thing as we move forward. And he was very excited about that.
I think a lot of young kids would be to get the opportunity that he is going to have when he shows up here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow. Yep, and we'll look forward to seeing him.
Found back up this way.
You went through this whirlwind with Cliff Lee, and everybody in the country was talking about it. So you have that taken care of. What do you do now? Play some golf, do some fishing.
Yeah.
What are you going? What do you do now, Jack?
Yeah, spend some time with my wife, I hope. But you know, the job's never done. It is, quite frankly, it's a 24/7 job. You're going to spend, we spend a lot of time, morning, noon, and night thinking about how we can make this club better, this organization better. But our guys did a great job. I commend that whole front office staff.
Well, Rob Johnson sending one to the gap. Granderson backhands, runs it down. Rob Johnson, a solid one-out double here in the 5th inning.
Carmen Fusco, our director of pro scouting, had his guys bouncing all over the place. So we were looking at a lot of players, a lot of organizations, and constantly talking every day about what we're seeing. And here we are today. So
10th double for Rob Johnson. One out brings up Jack Wilson. I got a kick out of Cliff Lee. He was super classy after you had your remarks, and he said he tries to keep everything in his life simple and not complicated. And he's looking forward to the fact that this next move, this next signing is going to be the last one. It's going to be a big one when he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's going to. I think him and his family are going to be pretty happy after this winter passes. No, again, I told Cliff today on the phone, he's a special person. You watch this guy prepare. You watch how he carried himself. I love his wife. They're great people, down to earth. You wish nothing but the best for this guy. It's a short period of time he was here, but I think we'll always have fond memories of his time here in Seattle.
To be sure, conservative guesstimate. I did a quick count before the ball game. Tuesday, August 3rd here, he's slated to pitch against the Mariners at the current rotation.
Yeah,
but he was great for the thing that his legacy with the young kids. You got to really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, you think about those young guys. Your Fister, your Vargases, a lot of those guys had a chance to be around him, just to watch his professional. But I remember talking to him this winter. I asked him what was a big influence on him, and he said Jamie Moyer. He said it was interesting sitting in Philadelphia during the ball game. Jamie Moyer talked baseball constantly to him, and here he is had an opportunity to give back, and that's you've been there. You know that when you have a chance to give back to something that you're a big part of. That means a lot, and he's that kind of person.
And I like how your guys, Roland Smith, and you mentioned Vargas and Fister, all the guys, they knew he was a source of information and inspiration, too, and they went to the
Yeah, and then again, Roland being left-handed, Ryan Roland being left-handed, and, seeing how Cliff pitches, and Vargas being left-handed, watching how he pitches. Even Garrett Olson, watching this guy's work. It's and anybody learns from a star, and he was a star, and he is a star.
Ichiro 1-0 the count. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Got a base hit to right back in the 3rd. Chance to tie it up, and he fouls it off of Posada's glove. 1-1. How about this?
Almost hit him with the ball. He was just walking to home and had his head down. Posada flipped the ball back out there, unfortunately, and missed him.
Expect a big flurry from other general managers over the next, next 21 days?
You always watch how these things unfold, and you hear names on the market, and I think this was the first domino to fall, and it was the big domino. So, now other people that were pursuing Cliff will, have to go another direction. So you expect the activity to pick up, certainly, without a doubt.
One last thing from me, Jack, as you move forward in this thing, everybody calling you about Cliff, and everybody talking about that. But now, as you try to improve this club, it's what you talk about all the time and trying to get the farm system going in. You're going to be busy making a lot of calls?
We'll see. I don't know. We'll look and see how this thing, things begin to have a life of their own at times. It just takes it and runs with it. But, there have been a lot of nice things happen this year. Some of those kids in minor leagues are having terrific years. You brought up Michael Pineda before. But there's guys like Mauricio Lobos, we got him a deal. In a Detroit deal for Washburn. This is a power arm guy. Danny Cortez has been up to 99, and we got him for Betancourt. Ackley's getting acclimated. There's several players. You go through our system. Nick Franklin is a guy that everybody's excited about. A kid named Tim Brink. Was in Double-A. Everybody's like, oh, this guy's turned out to be a pretty good player. So as you go through this process, you begin to see okay, you're starting to build this group the way you'd like it to be built, and we'll see what happens.
Ichiro pops one up. Jeter will put it away. Jack, thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
On the move.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Jack Zrinzik, the general manager of the Mariners. Mariners are done in the 5th. It's still 1-0 Yankees. To watch baseball, it's 1-0 Yankees. Top of the 6th inning. Who would have thunk that David Pauly would be in the 5th inning through the 5th inning, having retired 13 consecutive Yankees? Gave up a home run in the 1st inning to Mark Teixeira with 2 outs. It happened on a 3-1 pitch. Got away from the bullpen. That's why the delay for the moment. But David Pauly, an emergency starter with the trade of Cliff Lee today. This was Cliff's night. Was traded to the Texas Rangers earlier.
Look, he's made it through 5 innings, only giving up the 1 run, 2 hits to the Yankees. He's really done a nice job, but right now 74 pitches for him. This is probably going to be it. Mariners have some action out in the bullpen.
And he's done a very good job. 1 strikeout, no walks. Chad Cordero warming up. And if we could right now, you probably could coax a smile out of Don Wakamatsu. Skipper of the Mariners, 1-1 to Brett Gardner leading off. It's a legit threat that he is one of the faster runners in the American League. There's Watt. Down just 1-0. This club's managed 4 hits. Haven't been able to push anybody across. 3-1 here to Gardner. Back to 3-2. Nice job. Mariners had Brandon to second base in the 1st inning. They got Figgins to second base in the 3rd. They got Wilson to 3rd base. That was in the 3rd inning. And in the 5th inning, they get a double from Rob Johnson and have not been able to score. The pitch gets away. It's ball 4. The first walk issued by David Pauly. Let's check out our U.S. Marine Corps leaders of the game. Jason Vargas got a 2.41 career ERA at Safeco Field. It's the best all time in the history of the Mariners. Got some great names in there. Kaz Suzuki at 2.66, Hasegawa at 2.68, and Rick Adair coming after a little chat time right now. Cliff Lee at 2.99. So a lot of good numbers there.
And probably buying some time for Cordero. They know they're pushing it. It was 75, 80 pitches they wanted to go with Paulie, and he's at 79. Try to get Cordero heated up in a hurry out of the pen.
There's Jeter. Showing his bunt. He's grounded out twice. Paulie, remember, was over in that isolated row in spring training down in Peoria, Survivor's Row, Survivor Alley. And he survived until very late in spring training. He did a heck of a job, and now here he is in the bigs again.
He was the last one to go in that row.
Yeah. Lopez ready to charge at third. Gardner, a very good base stealer, 25 out of 30. He's fourth in the American League. Juan Pierre leads the American League 32. Stolen bases, Carl Crawford 29. Rajay Davis with 26, and Gardner 25, tied with B.J. Upton. He would like to have that one reassessed, but those aren't the rules. Gardner with a decent lead, dives back. Yankees won last night's ball game 3-1, gave them their 6th consecutive win, 5th consecutive road game win. Off of Lopez, everybody's safe. That ball was blistered.
Take a look at the swing by Jeter. Fastball running in on his hands. Hits it hard down to Lopez. Ball skips off the grass. Goes off the glove and off of his hand.
E5 to Lopez. And that will do it for David Pollock. He gets the Mariners into the 6th inning. Down only 1-0. Heck of a job. Here comes Chad Cordero. just remarkable. Right here at Safeco Field, big crowd, 1-0 Yankees. David Pauly's line, better than anyone could have expected. 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned the home run by Teixeira, walk and a strikeout in 82 pitches.
And he is responsible for the 2 runners that are on, but I think you're right, Dave. He really did a nice job picking the club up with the trade of Cliff Lee. Nice slider out of him tonight. Threw some good change-ups to the left-handers. Really nice job. 82 pitches for him.
Big spot here. Mariners could use a double play. Swisher, the hitter. Cordero, his first pitch. It's Gardner back. Cordero pitched Wednesday, an inning, a hit. And he gave up a home run to Billy Butler in that 7-3 Royals win. Swisher, who won the campaign for the last spot on the All-Star ballot, lays the bunt down. It's a good one. Lopez goes to Kochman. Sacrifice executed by Swisher. Runners at second and third. It's a 5-3. Sacrifice 5-3, and the runners move up. I'm talking about the lack of quality bunting. That was a good one right there. Coors Light. Cold hard blast, 3-1 pitch to Mark Teixeira here. Mike in the first inning.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes that Pauly made in the game. Pitch up and in the middle of the plate, and Teixeira makes him pay for it.
Teixeira's 16th home run, RBI number 58. Mark started off cold, got hot, trying to warm up again. 1-1. Teixeira 0 for 1 career against Chad Cordero. Infield in to cut off the run. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cordero back in 05. Top reliever with the Washington Nationals. Major arm injuries, shoulder problems over the last few years. He's done a heck of a job to get back to the bigs. The 2-1 down low. Same count. Teixeira head back in the first inning against David Pauly.
And I don't think Cordero will give in to him with first base open here and try to throw a fastball by him.
Alex Rodriguez is on deck. Bases are loaded for A-Rod.
Dave, you talked about Alex beating the Mariners a couple of times this year with the home run in New York and then the base hit last night. He's got a base hit in the game today. He's hitting everything to right field.
He also has 21 career grand slams. .318 hitter. Look at those numbers. Only Lou Gehrig has more. First pitch. In for ball. 21 grand slams, tied with Manny Ramirez, second all time behind the Iron Horse Lou Gehrig. You got Gardner at third, Jeter at second, Teixeira at first. High drive to right center field. It'll stay in a ballpark. It's going to pick up a run. Jeter tags. He goes to third. Yankees have a 2-0 lead. RBI Rodriguez is 70th. So 2 outs.
Look at this last pitch from Cordero. It was in the middle of the plate, maybe the outer third. Again, Alex going to right field, pick up an RBI.
Still not out of the woods with Robinson Cano standing in. Fourth leading hitter in the American League. There's a strike. Count evens at 1-1. Cano last night 2 for 4. Couple singles. Nick Swisher did big damage last night, going 4 for 4. And that one's crushed into the gap. Jeter scores. Teixeira rolling to third. They're going to wave him in. Cano checks. He's headed for third. The throw to third is not in time. Gets away. Nobody backing up. Two-run triple. Robinson Cano, 4-0 Yankees. That kid can hit.
1-1 pitch. Out over the plate, and he hits a bullet into the gap. You don't see many balls that split the outfield with Gutierrez and Ichiro, and they can't get it to him. Here's the relay. Thought they had a chance to get him at third. The ball actually hits Cano on his foot and kicks it through Lopez's legs. Cordero was backing up home. Nobody was back there, but fortunately he was alert, paying attention, and was able to get over there to keep Cano at third.
So Cordero touched up here. Posada takes a strike, 1-1. A-Rod got it going with the sac fly. Bringing the first run, and Cano has done the rest. Two and one. Posada. 3 balls, 1 strike. Posada 1 for 5 last evening. Where do all these Yankee fans come from here, Pacific Northwest? The 3-1. And Cordero has walked Posada. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. His second walk. Here's a reminder, Monday, July 19th. Get your friends and family together and head to BECU Family Night. Safeco Field for as little as $10. You're going to get great seats. You'll see the Mariners host the White Sox. Plus, the savings keep adding up with $2 minor league hot dogs and special discounts at the Mariners team store. For tickets, visit mariners.com. 8th hitter to the plate, Curtis Granderson here in the 6th. Posada not a running threat. Kochman playing behind him. Ball 1. Granderson pulls 1 foul. Didn't take much for these guys to wake up. The Yankees, 2nd in scoring in the American League, 6th in batting average. Among the leaders and runners in scoring position, batting average .268.
They've been helped in this inning. They've only had the 1 hit. Here's the second.
Another base hit. Coming around Cano. 5-0, and Cordero's really getting lit up. RBI Granderson is 24th.
Take a look at the swing by Curtis Granderson. Pitch is down, but it's in the middle of the plate.
Issaquah's Colin Curtis now stands in, the 9th man. The swing to bat here in the Yankee top of the 6th. 5-0 New York. Check swing. 0-2. Curtis twice bounced out to Figgins. Mariners going to have to mount a response in the home 6th inning. 1-2. Luke French just called a recall from Tacoma. He's up and throwing for the Mariners. A 1-2 to Curtis. Swing and a miss. He got him. Damage, though, lots of it. RBIs by Rodriguez, 2 by Cano, and 1 by Granderson. The Yankees have a 5-0 lead. Your first inning and see who's enjoying the game. Back here at Safeco Field, a 5-0 Yankee lead. They put up a 4-spot and a 6. 9 men come to the plate. Here's Sean Figgins. Dan Wilson rejoining us here in the booth, coming back over from radio. Clutch hitting indeed here in that last inning.
Yeah, anytime you put good pitching together with some timely hitting, you're going to win a lot of ball games. And the Yankees getting a good outing tonight from Phil Hughes, but that last inning, the story was they're hitting with runners in scoring position and kind of breaking the game open.
It is a fair ball, and a fan interfered with it again. Are you kidding me? People, this is the hometown team here. Come on, people.
Hopefully he'll enjoy his escort out of the ballpark.
And anything else that happens.
Take a look at it. Right on the chalk.
He got a handful of chalk with that one, too.
$14.95 at a sporting goods store near you. So a double for Figgins starts off the 6th. Brandon struck out on a changeup in the 3rd, doubled to deep right center field in the 1st inning. Oh, 1 to Brandon. Well hit, line drive. Curtis is there. Well, this young man down the line is not watching the umpire, did not watch the umpire, and that's why he's getting a silent treatment for everybody.
They thought it was a foul ball.
Granted, now they're not going to watch the umpire. I mean, we can see the umpire from up here, but
watch the ball come at him.
Exactly. Yeah. But you may want to keep one eye on the ball and one eye on the umpire before you get a little grabby.
There you go.
Because that's going to cost a big fella. Well, at least he didn't get the full Bartman treatment when he had guys coming down with malice in their eyes. Remember that when people were coming down, they needed cops to keep guys from getting the Bartman back in ALCS or NLCS a few years ago. Lopez 0 for 2. Opie drives one left field, going back. Gardner can't get it. It's over his head. Figgins being waved around. He's going to score. And Lopez into second with an RBI double. Mariners on the board. It's 5-1. 33rd RBI for Lopez. Well struck by Lopez's 17th double.
Lopez gets a breaking ball. Gardner was playing shallow. I think Lopez thought he was going to be able to catch it, but he was playing shallow and couldn't get back in time to make the play.
Here's Gutierrez, 0 for 2, 0 for his last 17. Got an RBI out there for him. Let's see if the Mariners can send a whole village to swing the bat here in the 6th inning like the Yankees did. Fly ball right field, backing up Curtis. Tagging Lopez. Here's a throw to third, and it's cut off by Jeter. Take a look at our Quest High Speed Pitch, brought to you by Quest High Speed Internet. The starters, Hughes and Pauly, that's what they've checked in with their high speed pitches this evening. Tagging and taking third is Lopez. A run in, 2 outs, a runner on. Casey Kotzman, 0 for 2 tonight.
I can tell you this, Dave, that I haven't seen much of Colin Curtis, but he has one of the better arms I've seen. That throw that he just made in that nobody really paid attention to, I would not try to run on him. Ben, that was a laser.
That was a miss. I think you and I both looked at each other with some raised eyebrows there because, wow, had Jeter not cut that ball off, it might have been close at third.
Yeah.
For exhibition purposes, he got the job done. Let's revisit.
Yeah, take a look at this throw. Gets behind it nicely and turns it loose. Didn't seem like much, but throws it all the way back into the infield. As Dan said, if Jeter lets this go, I'm sure that Lopez would have been safe, but it would have been a close play.
2-1 to Kotzman. Kotzman getting some playing time, getting results, soaring confidence. He's had a good week. Two outs. Man at third, 2-2 to Kotzman. Going to hold up. He did, says Tom Hallion. Full count. Michael Saunders on deck. Three-two pitch. Knocked down by Hughes. Underhand flip, and that'll do it. The Mariners pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left through 6. It's 5-1 Yankees. he called earlier today. 10-2 with a 2.69 ERA. 15 starts in Tacoma. And here at the Mariners in 3 games, 0-1. A 7.45 ERA. Obtained in the Jared Washburn deal last year. It'll be Brett Gardner leading off for the 2nd consecutive inning. Who's just joining us, the Yankees had 9 men to the plate in the 6th inning against David Pauly and Chad Cordero. Put up 4 runs on 2 hits. Who's this guy remind you of? Anybody in particular, Dan? Talking about Luke French. Nobody in particular? Soft tossing left-hander, throws strikes for the most part, not overpowering.
Well, there's a guy I know, but he's 46 years old. He's a soft tossing lefty.
Mr. Moyer.
Mr. Moyer.
Continues to do well in his home area. Back in Philly. 1-2. Ripped through the hole by Gardner. Base hit. Let's check in with Tom, see what's going on at the sports desk.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tom. Tigers beat the Twins. Tigers started today a half-game lead over Chicago. Twins with 2 backs, and the Twins are now 3 back of Detroit. First place in the AL Central. Jeter reached on an error by Lopez his last time up and scored. Had Gardner leaning. Pretty good move by Luke French. There's the hit zone, brought to you by Amica for the Yankee captain. We saw Pettit with a great move last night. He pretty much shut down the running game.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about these guys when they come up from AAA. A lot of these guys in the big leagues don't know too much about them, and throw a good move at them like that, and you get them leaning.
Strike one to Jeter.
Jeter, one of the best right-handed hitters that you've seen inside out. Swing that pitch inside that he can just rifle it into right field.
Yeah, you know, he's so inside out geared, and I think the thing that's a little frustrating about Jeter is that you can throw a ball, you know, inside corner in off the plate. He's going to stay inside of it, and it's not going to look pretty, but he's going to get himself a base hit either up the middle or to the right field, and you know, he's going to drive in a run with it or something, and that's what made him so difficult. He just, with runners on base or runners in scoring position, he's just a tough out because he can stay inside of just about anything and be able to get it out over into the outfield.
Way upstairs, 2-2. 16th season for Derek Jeter, and according to Elias Sports Bureau, is the highest personal winning percentage, .603 among all active players with a minimum of 1,000 games played.
This pitch is out over the plate a little bit more, but you can see how deep he lets the ball get. Fouls it off to the right side. Probably the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen doing that was Edgar. You could throw sinkers in on him and he would rifle it right back up the middle.
Well, he really has Brett Gardner doing a stutter step, taking that lead off of first base.
Yeah, Frenchie looks like he's pushing that 45-degree line every time he goes over there, but it's a good one.
2-2. So the Yankees have the best record in baseball. They've won 6 in a row, 7 of 8, and on the road they're hot, winning 5 in a row, 11 of 14. 54 wins, most in baseball. Tampa Bay with 52. San Diego with 50, Atlanta with 50, and Texas with 50 starting today. Two and two. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Luke French. One out here in the 7th.
His best fastball so far, 89 miles an hour, just above the belt.
Here's Nick Swisher. Turn him around against the lefty French. Flied out to left, struck out. Put down a sacrifice bunt. You guys like the campaign this guy put on to make the All-Star team, to make the last spot? Had all his teammates texting in the dugout a couple of nights ago. Had his Twitter followers getting on it. And the Yes Network put on a big campaign. He edged out Kevin Youkilis of the Red Sox. So you know that gave him great satisfaction as well.
As if that fire needed any more fuel. I don't even know what a Twitter is, Dave. Do you?
Yeah, we're on there. The old social networking, which a lot of people in the media use, a lot of reporters are on that. It's almost like scooping themselves in a lot of regard, too. On Twitter before it gets in their paper. 1-1. Gets through Rob Johnson. Gardner to second. Rob couldn't keep that one in front. Now the Yankees have a runner in scoring position.
It's like Rob wanted that ball down and away, and it took off on Luke and came more down and into the right-handed hitter. Rob just wasn't able to get over there in time.
A wild pitch charge to Luke French. 2-1. Luke French trying to get out of some trouble here. He's got one out, runner at second. And now another walk issue. First by French, now first and second for the Yankees, and you got Teixeira, Rodriguez, Cano, and Posada coming your way. Take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Finish up the series with the Yankees on Sunday, All-Star break, and then tee it up down in Anaheim for 4, then back. How about the White Sox playing some outstanding baseball? They'll be in here for 4. And the Boston Red Sox will be interesting to see personnel-wise who's healthy for them when they come to Seattle for the first of 2 visits. Here's Teixeira. 2 on, 1 out. Dangerous, dangerous switch hitter. Oh! 1-1. Based on what you've seen, Dan, if you're calling the game for French, what are you calling here to try to get rid of Teixeira?
Well, Teixeira early in the ball game hit that high fastball on a 3-1 count to right field for the home run. You got to keep the ball down here. You're looking for that ground ball double play in this situation, and you want to get Teixeira out in front of something off speed and get him to ground into that double play. So you might have to set it up inside for a pitch or two and then try to get that soft pitch down and away from him.
Here's the 1-1. That was a little up. Wow. I don't think he's going to revisit that pitch, not in that locale.
No, and that's probably what Rob's going out here to talk to him about. He's got to make good pitches in this situation. He's ahead in the count now. He's got a little room to work with, and he can't be living too much in the middle of the plate.
Scouting reports the Yankees 3 switch hitters in the lineup. Do you go over both sides of the plate when you're talking about the hitters?
Yeah, you have to, because you don't know, later in the game when your starters are out and the bullpen comes in, and or the manager makes a change to switch him around. You got to know how he swings from both sides of the plate.
Teixeira entered today 240 overall, 250 right-handed, 235 left-handed. 1-2. Popped up, playable. Rob Johnson at the on-deck circle makes the play. That's a huge second out.
That's a big out. They did go soft down and away from him, but he got so far out in front of it, Dave, he popped it straight up rather than rolling over on it. So, but you're right. It's a big out.
Going to bring up, as if you couldn't tell, Alex Rodriguez. Single ground out to short, and a sacrifice fly. Damage last night done in the 8th inning on an 0-1 pitch from Marchman. Single to right, scored 2. And the Yankees went on to win the game 3-1. Goes to right field again. Ichiro got it. Fighting the sinking line drive and the lights as Rodriguez continues to go right side. This time, Ichiro puts it away and prevents further damage. Yankees with a 5-1 lead. Saunders, Johnson, and Jack Wilson against Phil Hughes. Hughes has given up a run on 6 hits. Been right to Cano. Saunders 0 for 3. Visit the official online shop of the Mariners at mariners.com. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the mariners.com shop, except no substitutes. Rob Johnson doubled last time up. That was in the 5th inning. Got it to left center field. 1 for 2. The biggest difference, Mike, you're seeing in Hughes from today compared to last time we saw him back on 29 June.
Yeah, I think he's just commanded his fastball at Yankee Stadium. He really struggled throwing strikes with his fastball. Couldn't get to the good breaking ball that he's had tonight. And he has a good fastball. He's topped out at 96 miles an hour. That to me, that's the difference. He was falling behind too many hitters, and the Mariners made him pay for it.
The other thing it seems to have done for him too, Mike, is that he's gotten ahead, like you mentioned. It's allowed him to pitch inside quite a bit. I've seen a lot of Mariner hitters jumping back, especially the left-handers. He really has Posada setting up really deep inside there, and just uses that inside corner really well. And when you're ahead, you can afford to do that.
And you have to be pitching with confidence if you're going to pitch inside. You have to be committed to going in there. Know you're going to get the baseball. There are a lot of pitchers, they don't want to pitch in there that often because they're worried about it leaking back out over the plate. So he's pitched with a lot of confidence. And his last two outings have been a struggle. Seattle. And, to me, with the type of stuff that he has, I'm not surprised because we've seen him out of the bullpen. A couple of years he'd throw out of the bullpen, and he would consistently be 95, 96. Now as we watch him start, he's 92 to 96 in that area.
2-2. Fouled off. Javier Vasquez against Felix Hernandez in Game 3 tomorrow. And it'll wrap up the Yankees' only visit to Safeco Field on Sunday. Ryan Rowland-Smith against CC Sabathia. Pretty good wind kicking up here. Rob Johnson fouls another one back. Here's CC. How about Andy Pettit, the game he turned in last night? Outstanding work going 8 innings. Picking up his 11th win. He's 38 years old, and he may be pitching as well as he's ever pitched. Career win number 240.
There's that pitch inside right there, Dave. Just up and in, up underneath Rob's chin. Letting him know he's still there.
1 out in the 7th. 3-2. Pitch number 9 coming Rob Johnson's way. A pitch away from him. Teixeira will take it. Checking with Tom Glasgow. Boy, Torrey turning in some work. He had a 2-home run night a few evenings ago. Jack Wilson, the hitter, now 2 outs. Hughes has retired the last 4 men he's faced. Last Mariner base runner was Jose Lopez at RBI double in the 6th. $39,645 on hand. Or 2 to Jack Wilson.
You're right, Mike. He's got a lot of confidence in that fastball. He's gone to it a lot here later in the game, just moving it around the strike zone and in and out of the strike zone.
0-2 to Wilson, popped up, playable. Rodriguez taking a look. Here he comes. The wind is a factor. Wow, he almost overran it. So Hughes throws a clean 7th. Nothing across. We go to the 8th inning, a Yankee 5-1 lead. Nice work as we come back to live action. Robinson Cano, soft line drive to Figgins. One out here in the 8th. I want to do a shout out to the Duke University 1980 Physical Therapy Graduate School class celebrating its 30th anniversary here at Safeco Field. Group of 17 who assembled from all over the country. Led by my wife, Abby Sims. She brought the whole crew in to Seattle, and they're loving Seattle big time.
Very nice.
Came in from all over the country.
Nice of you to feed them all this week.
Hey, you know. Nah, she's doing all the work. Swing and a miss by Posada. Jorge tonight with a fly out to center, ground out to second, and a walk. Damage done tonight to Shera with a solo home run in the first. And Dan, you can appreciate that one. That ate up Rob Johnson. Goodness gracious. Let's check in again with Tom Glasgow.
That's it.
Chicago doing a great job swinging the bats, getting back into contention in the Central Division. They've overtaken the Minnesota Twins. How about Posada gets hit on the elbow and then Rob Johnson takes a shot?
Yeah, you just you can't plan for the pinball that happens after it hits the hitter, and more times than not it hits you in the spot where you didn't want to get hit.
Talking to Rob in the dugout yesterday, he said he had a great conversation with Jason Kendall, 35-year-old catcher with Milwaukee when they were in Kansas City the other day, rather. Used to be with Milwaukee, and he said nobody except guys who have caught at this level. There's a fly ball center field, backing up Gutierrez. He's got room. And about a foot on the track, make the catch, 2 outs. But he said only guys that catch at this level can appreciate what they go through. You did it for a lot of years, Dan, and Rob was saying, you know, yeah, I can't get out of the box. You know, sometimes my swing's not real good. Well, you know, you didn't see where I got torched on the thumb. How about Victor Martinez breaks his thumb in the glove hand, and then all the assorted bumps and bruises, and you get squared up a few times where you don't want to get squared up. So, you know, you can have some long nights back there.
Yeah, you can, and you can get it from really anywhere. You know, the worst was really when guys would square around the bunt and they'd follow it straight back. And, you had a hard time seeing the ball to begin with because you had so much in front of you, but then they'd foul it off. And, you know, but you can get fouled off on a bunt, on a swing. If the ball hits the ground, it can hit you anywhere. I mean, you can hit from so many different angles, and that's not to mention when you got guys coming down the third baseline that can run you over.
And there's another one right there. Takes one off his right foot.
Another foul tip off the foot. So you do have a lot of gear on to protect you, but for whatever reason, the ball finds the places that are unprotected.
And Rob, in the last 10 days, seems to have had a bad go of it with balls. I mean, with foul balls just pick a body part in the tip.
Yeah, and that happens. You know, you can go for a couple of weeks without getting hit at all, and then you go other stretches where you're getting hit all the time. And it's okay when you're on the positive side of the scoreboard, but it hurts a little bit more when you're on the negative side of the scoreboard.
I hear you. Colin Curtis 1-2. Well stroked right field. Ichiro going back, not going to get it. One back. Hop off the fence. They're going to hold Posada at third. A double for Issaquah Washington's Colin Curtis.
Nice swing from Curtis. Pitch in the middle of the plate. Nice level swing. Drives it over Ichiro's head.
Third double of the season. They really like him.
Well, man has a lot of tools. You're watching him throw and watching him run from first to second. Turned it up a notch, and he can really run, too.
There's Brett Gardner. 1 for 2 runs scored. Strike one. So that's Colin Curtis's mom there. She's got to be very excited. Her youngster with a base hit here in Seattle. 0-2 to Brett Gardner. Thought he had a punch out. Runners at second and third for the Yankees.
We're about to talk to Luke about location here. Again, ahead in the strikes, ahead in the count, 1 and 2. You want to remain in the driver's seat. Maybe go over some signs. You got a runner on second base now. That looking at the signs as well. So a couple things to get squared away before this pitch.
Took a lot off it. Very effective as Rob Johnson applies the tag to Gardner. And Luke Prince survives the 8th inning. Second and third, got out of it. It's still 5-1 the Yankees. An emergency starter with Cliff Lee being traded to Texas. Throws 5 innings of 2-hit, 2-run, 1 earned run ball with 1 walk and a strikeout. Chad Cordero didn't fare quite as well. And now it's a 5-1 lead. And the starter for the Yankees, Phil Hughes, is done after 7 innings. They bring in David Robertson, 24-year-old right-hander out of Birmingham, Alabama, lives in Tampa now. And he played his college ball for the Crimson Tide of Alabama, defending national champions in football. Top of the order here in the 8th inning for the Mariners, Ichiro, Figgins, and Branyan. Saw Robertson last year, hard throw, 1 and 3 with a 5.65 ERA. There's 31 strikeouts, 17 walks. Oh, it's hitting 307 off.
The walks and falling behind hitters. That's why his ERA is over 5.5. 17 walks in 28 innings.
Strike to Ichiro, 0-2. Ichiro tonight a strikeout, a base hit to right, and a pop to short. The glove of Robertson for a base hit. 11-game hitting streak for Ichiro. Boy, he just whiffed. It'll happen. It's like that goal. You're playing goalie in hockey. A guy flips one from the red line and does like whoop, whoop, whoop.
The old flutter shot.
Yeah. I saw a guy. Now this is a long time ago. You'll see guys, and you watch a lot of hockey play, where you'll see that baby just flutter up and you lose it in the crowd, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, those are the toughest ones when they're bouncing and fluttering. And
Figgins doubled, ground rule double down the first baseline. Fan picked it up. Biggie 1 for 3 tonight.
I tell you, pitchers a lot of times, Dave, really got to feel like a goalie out there, 60 feet away from a hitter, and ball coming at you.
They're actually probably closer to what, 54, 55 feet by the time they throw it.
Absolutely.
Chan-Ho Park.
Still around.
He's been doing it for a long time. The former teammate of mine.
Montreal?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers, that's right. Forget about it. 1-1. For Figgins, 2-1. The Yankees and the Mariners battling here. Mariners trying to get something going in the 8th inning. The 8th inning has been the Mariners' undoing in these last 4 games. Mariners outscored 8-1. The 8th inning has turned around all 4 of those ball games. 2-1. Chan-Ho Park. What years did you play with him? At,
96.
Wow. Had a good year with Philly last year.
I think he was a rookie that year with the Dodgers. I think it was his first year.
Down low, 3-2. Mariners' only run came in the 6th inning. RBI double by Jose Lopez. Figgins had led off with a double. And 1 out later, Lopez brought him home. Three-2 to Figgins. Fly ball. Center field, shallow. Anderson's there. 1 out. Hey, if you're looking for a way to save money on your commute, consider a Sound Transit ST Express bus. For route information, visit soundtransit.org. Big Russell Brennan here. 1 for 3, a double to the gap in right center field. A strikeout on a heck of a changeup by Phil Hughes, and lined out to right in the 6th. Breaking ball for strike 1. It's good to have Brandon back. 1 for 3 tonight. He's hitting .250 with 3 home runs, 9 RBI since coming back to the Mariners. Those are his numbers entering tonight. So it looks like he's going to be entrenched as the DH for a long time, Mike, with Smoke coming in. They're going to put him at first base.
So when Milton comes back from the problem he's having with his knee, he'll probably go back out to left field.
That's one of the issues they got to deal with.
Yeah.
And Milton Bradley, 211, 8 homers, 28 RBI. Saunders starting today at 215, 7 and 21. Milton's a switch hitter. Basically, I think somebody's going to have to hit to stay in that lineup. 1 and 2 here.
As it should be, right?
Amen. Could not check his swing. Branyan's gone. 2 down. Also factoring into that personnel equation is Mike Sweeney. He'll be eligible to come off the DL soon. So They got a lot of guys for very few positions. Here's Lopez, 1 for 3. Straightaway center for Granderson. David Robertson gives up the Ichiro base hit, and that's it. 8 in the books. All Yankees 5-1, top of their order coming up when we return to Safeco Field. Shot on a fabulous night here in the Emerald City. And you can celebrate the anniversary of the Great Seattle Fire at Pioneer Square's Fire Festival, featuring antique fire engines, panning for gold, and more. It's a great day for the entire family. Visit downtownseattle.com and plan your trip. Derek Jeter leading off the ninth, 0 for 4. Jeter drives on the right field, backing up Ichiro. 1 down. 1 out here in the ninth. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 1 out in the ninth. Nick Swisher. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and Dan Wilson of the FSN crew. Swisher tonight has done his job. A good sacrifice bunt back in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice. B2 goes to right field. They'll keep Ichiro busy. 2 outs. Stars the line for the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. The best of the American League take on the National League's top players. Don't miss all the action next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox. This one counts. Mark Teixeira. The Yankees on the board. Hitting left-handed against David Polly, who started the emergency starter for the Mariners back in the 1st inning. Wow, that's hit a long way. Deep left field. Saunders watches it leave the yard. Mark Teixeira, 2-home run evening. Got that one on an 0-1 pitch. And no doubt about her. 6-1 Yankees. That's home run number 17, RBI number 59.
Give you an idea of how strong he is. He hits his ball on the line. It looked like it was actually hooking. It was strong enough to hit it over the fence. Another pitch up in the zone.
It was up. It wasn't as high as the one he hit to right field, but you're right. He hit this one right on the line.
I was expecting it to hit the wall out there with you.
I thought it was going to. I didn't think it had enough height.
Right.
On a note, Alex Rodriguez base hit in the first inning. Second 2-run homer night of the season for Teixeira. Rodriguez 1 for 3. An RBI.
Yeah, you don't see that very often where you hit a home run from the left side and a home run from the right side. That's called switch hitting right there.
I saw him do it a few years ago when he was with the Braves. Arizona, Atlanta.
Popped up. And out of play. Teixeira's favorite player growing up in the Baltimore area, Eddie Murray. One of the great switch hitters of all time.
Well, he's doing his best impression of Eddie Murray tonight.
I'll say. Eddie can hit. Well, he's a Hall of Famer. 2-2. Popped up again. That'll get out of play. Wasn't easy getting him out. Six runs, 7 hits. No errors for the Yankees. A run on 7 hits and an error for the Mariners.
I'll tell you what makes this Yankee lineup so difficult is last night it was Nick Swisher and A-Rod, and tonight it's the 2 guys around them, Teixeira and Cano, with some big hits for them driving in runs. They just keep coming at you.
Ball 4. So Teixeira with the home run. Rodriguez follows with a walk. That's the first walk. Make that the second walk by Luke French. FSN Northwest, the Seattle Mariners, and DirecTV. They're going to deliver the first ever regional MLB telecast in 3D. Live from Safeco Field tomorrow and Sunday when the Mariners face the Yankees. Find out how you can take part in the 3D experience by logging on to northwest.fsninsider.com. I'll be working tomorrow's telecast with Kenny Singleton, and Dave Niehaus will work with Ken on Sunday. Curious to see how that works. Jack Wilson throws over, and Cano is gone. So the Yankee power tonight, a couple of home runs, a 2-home-run night for Mark Teixeira, one from both sides of the plate. Yankees have a 6-1 lead. He knew he was going to get traded. He wasn't worried about it. He said, listen, I came to the ballpark ready to do my work and have some fun with the guys. And now the trade's happened. He's on Texas. And he goes to a team that has the biggest lead of anybody in Major League Baseball starting today. Texas, the 5.5 game lead over the Angels. So he's in a good situation.
He is in a good situation, and so are the Rangers now. He's as good as they get as far as I'm concerned, and I wasn't surprised to hear some of his comments today. He's been a class act the whole time that he's been here, too, and the Rangers definitely benefit.
Yeah, Dave, you know, I heard his comments, too, about keeping it simple and not making it complicated, and you're right. I mean, that's just such a great way to approach this game. I mean, there's so much in this game outside of the lines that can complicate it for you, but just like he said, you know, it is what it is, and he's going to go to the ballpark tomorrow in a Ranger uniform and help them win a ball game, and it's as simple as it needs to be.
Well, that's going to be an interesting read. Watching him pitch with that team, boy, he's going to have some muscle behind him with the offense. Here's Gutierrez to lead it off, 0 for 3, trying to break in 0 for 18 now.
I think the other thing, too, is having pitched in Philly, he knows what it's like to pitch in a hitter's ballpark. So I don't expect things to change for him at all.
No, that's a great point, because Philly is probably more of a hitter's ballpark than even, you know, Texas is. And you're right. That's some great experience. He's had playoff experience with Philly. I mean, this is he's going into his element again, and I don't think he'll have any problems.
And at the end of the season, he'll be a free agent, but I highly doubt he'll be doing a TV show and being interviewed by Jim Gray and finding out where he'll be signing. Strike 3, Goody's gone, 1 out. Let's take a look at the Jack in the Box in-game box score. Lopez with an RBI double, accounting for the only Mariner run. That came in the 6th inning. Been a struggle tonight against Phil Hughes, David Robertson, and now Chan Ho Park. Here's Katzman. And Mark Teixeira has been a terror tonight. Homered as a left-hand hitter in the 1st inning, and the 9th as a right-hand hitter. Got the solo blast. He did it June 22nd, 08 against the Mariners, too. Homering from both sides of the plate. Here's Katzman. Foul ball. He did that as an Atlanta Brave. I remember that. It was a spectacularly hot Sunday in Atlanta 2 years ago. Interleague play, 3 home runs. And the other thing I remember about it, the girl was saying the national anthem, did it in about 1:55 in 98-degree heat. Thank you very much. Strange things that you remember along the way when you do baseball. Get it over with already. Come on.
Hot Atlanta.
Oh, great town. This time of year, let's take a pass. This heat up here was terrific, as heat goes. Took down that southern heat, added that humidity along with the northeast coast. Forget it. Full count here to Katzman with Saunders on deck. Chan Ho Park signed with the Yankees back in late February. First Korean-born player to appear with the Yankees. And he was with Philly last year, 3-3, a 4.43 ERA and 45 appearances, including 7 starts. 3-2 to Katzman, trying to get something going with 1 out. Bouncing ball, Rodriguez plays it nicely. 2 down. Hey, do you have the courage to rappel off of a 41-story skyscraper for Special Olympics? We'll take your support to new heights by pledging to raise $1,000, and you can participate in the Over the Edge, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rappel down one of Seattle's most famed skyscrapers, Rainier Tower. To reserve your spot or to learn more, visit www.sowa.org. Saunders' last hope here, 6-1 Yankees. 2 outs, bottom 9.
Dave, you're a thrill seeker, aren't you?
I did that in Costa Rica, doing that zip line between two trees over a couple hundred yards. I'm done. I'm checked in. I'm done. See you later. Not doing.
No,
but I will gladly contribute now. Don't get me wrong. I'll contribute to Special Olympics as we look at the great Mariano Rivera. My draft number back in the day was 348, so I was not required to jump out of any airplanes. One and one to Saunders. Swing and a miss. You ever do any of that kind of stuff?
No, not for me either. Not even a zip line.
No chance. You know, you didn't even ask.
I didn't even ask.
No chance.
1 and 2 to Saunders. You're right. In tight. 2 and 2. Really good relief pitching here, and pitching in general by the Yankees. Check down to third base. Saunders still alive at 3 and 2. Yankee pitching's retired 10 of the last 11. Shan-Ho Park. His 21st game at 3-2 to Saunders. Base hit right field. And Michael keeps it alive here in the 9th inning. His first hit tonight. Nice stroke.
Yeah, pretty good swing on a fastball. It's away from him. Ball really jumps off his bat when he squares it up.
Waiting on that 3-2 fastball.
Look at the score at 6-1. You know he's going to come right at you. Checks in with a base hit.
Here's Rob Johnson, 1 for 3. Doubled back in the 5th. Mariners are run on 8 hits. Runner goes. Saunders gets second on defensive indifference. Well, Colorado earlier in the week put up 9 runs in the bottom of the 9th to beat the Cardinals. The Phillies were down 6 tonight, tied it and won it in the 10th. And the Mariners keeping hope alive here. 2-1 to Rob Johnson. Two and 1 from Shan-Ho Park. Breaking ball for called strike 2. Javier Vasquez against Felix Hernandez tomorrow. Sunday, series concludes with Ryan Nolan-Smith going against CC Sabathia. Then the All-Star break. 2-2 to Rob Johnson. Baltimore shot. They're not going to get anybody, I don't think. They don't. That runs pretty well. Base hit. Taking third is Saunders.
Well, you know that ball had some altitude because the catcher was able to beat that one out, Mike.
You're shortchanging Rob. He runs well for a catcher.
That's right.
He knows he's got a real good shot. He's had a heck of a night.
With a couple of baseballs off his toes tonight, too.
2-hit night for Rob.
Yeah. Breaking
ball. In there for a called strike as Rob Johnson takes second. Defensive indifference. So second and third, 2 outs. Mariners need runs and lots of them. That'll get fouled. Third batter in a row now. The Mariners down to their last strike. Chan-Ho Park looking in. How that'll play. Jack is 2 for 13 against Park. Six-1 Yankees. They had a big 4 spot in the 6th inning. Sandwich in between Teixeira home runs. There's a foul ball. Teixeira with home runs in the 1st and 9th innings. So Felix Hernandez, he bested the Yankees last week in New York. That was a brilliant performance. Get a chance to do it again tomorrow. The 0-2. Hello. Hi, my name's Chan-Ho.
Throwing him a bunch of pitches away, and Jack keeps fouling him off. So he just decided to straighten him up a little bit, keep him honest.
Absolutely. You saw Jack reaching further and further over on those foul balls previous. And see if they go right back outside or if they go inside, double up.
Way outside. So Chan-Ho Park, not exactly a model of efficiency here with his 29th pitch coming up here. See if Jack Wilson can get something here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Boys, this is pretty typical of the Yankee games. We're approaching 3 hours. They've been known to play 4 hours for 9.
Well, it looks like they had a little trouble with the signs. Chan-Ho was trying to, before the pitch even started, was trying to set up some signs. And I think they were confused.
I think you're right. I didn't see him do the wipe on any one of the pitches when he did it with his glove. Add, subtract, that whole thing.
So Mariano Rivera with the iron ball in his hand, warming up just in case. 2-2 to Jack Wilson. Pretty good battle. So you're catching back there, and this guy's fouling off everything. What do you convey to your pitcher here?
Well, they already tried the under the chin pitch, but he's just making good pitches. Jack's not able to get the good part of the bat on the ball. He's just hanging in there trying to get a pitch in the middle of the plate.
2-2. Foul. Ninth pitch coming to Jack Wilson. Second night in a row, Michael Saunders almost got hit as he was taking his lead at third. What gives on pitch number 9 to 2-2 to Jack Wilson. Swung on and missed. Fouled off. He got a piece of it. Double digits. A 10th pitch.
We had Jack out in front of the pitch before, so he tried to take a little bit off that curveball there, and I think it was a little bit higher than he wanted it. If that falls down in the strike zone, he probably swings right over the top of it.
You're right. I think that's the only reason why he was able to get a piece of it. Pitch was up in the zone.
Tenth pitch. 6-1 Yankee lead. 2 outs. Saunders at third. You got Johnson at second. The pitch. Bounce to Jeter. Mayfield throws it to Shaw, and that is your ball game. The Yankees win at 6-1. They've won 7 in a row, 8 of 9, and on the road they've won 6 in a row and 12 of their last 15. Meanwhile, the Mariners fall again. It's their 5th consecutive loss and the 8th in the last 9 games. 6-1 Yankees. Let's go right to Brett Adams.
Dave, thank you very much. So a season high 7-game winning streak for